Hi, Paul here. Looking at some more hidden gems of role-playing. I have always been an enthusiast of the sword and planet genre. It's an old science fiction genre, and how it usually runs is someone is transported from Earth to the fantastic world of insert name here. The classic of this genre is, of course, the John Carter of Mars books, Barsoom, by Edgar Rice Burroughs of Tarzan fame. And the worlds they're sent to, they usually have funky technologies, but they're often fallen civilizations or dying worlds, or there's been past glories and they're trying to recover them. So these are lands of ruins, often with strange monsters and weird creatures living in them. There are savage barbarians out in the wilderness, and the technologies are they're fun, but there'll be things like flying ships and ray guns, which don't particularly work particularly better than, bolt action rifles. And for some reason, swords are in. None of this stuff will interfere with swords, or there just might not be swords. So this genre extends through things like the John Carter of Mars books, the Venus books, and so forth, and also, weirdly enough, things like Jack Vance's Chai, Planet of Adventure, which is a work of absolute genius. Brilliant books. If you haven't read them, go out and find them. Chai, Planet of Adventure, Jack Vance. But there have been many rules, systems, sort of designed to do this. In fact, original D&D was designed for this sort of genre. You'll find references to Green Martians and all this sort of stuff in those rules. And there have been some recent, Barsoom releases, which are large and expensive and complex. However, on Drive-Thru RPG, you can find this. It's Warriors of the Red Planet. So, this thing's by Night Owl Workshop. Those are a great bunch of guys, by the way. You'll find all the stuff on Drive-Thru RPG, but this, look at the size of it, this is everything you will ever need for running a Sword and Planet adventure campaign. It's wonderful work. I absolutely adore it. So this is based on original sort of Dungeons and Dragons. So it is the system that everyone knows. Roll a d20 to hit. You've got hit points, you've got levels, you've got powers that increase with the levels. Everybody knows this. And you generate characters that are suitable for this sort of world, and you can be an alien creature. And they've got a little random chart for that. I love it. You can say, I'm exotic. You roll to see which of your characteristics are different. You roll what kind of colours you are, what sort of physical peculiarities. I've got 4 arms, I'm 12 foot tall, I'm a centaur kind of creature, wherever you randomise this. You can be humans, you can be created, which means you can be like an android or a robot or someone, or you can be a transplanted human, so your characteristics are slightly different to the people on this planet. These planets always seem to have humans on them for reasons best known themselves. So they've done all their own art. There's actually very few illustrations in this book, and those illustrations are magnificent. They really provide the look and the feel. So you can pick from different archetypes. You can take fighting men, and you can take scoundrels, and you can take scientists, and you can take psionics, and so on. They all get their own powers and things, and you just dive in and play. There is a spectacular array of monsters and so on in this. Stuff that we're used to, like things from the Barsoomy kind of world. They haven't done this for Barsoom. There is like a little supplement at the back if you wish to run it in that specific world. But they've got this spectacular array of really cool monsters and dread beasts, creations of mad science, things that live out in the wilderness. And they've got this really great guide to how to set up campaigns. And so they're explaining that these places tend to be islands of civilization with masses of wilderness between. However, those wildernesses often conceal underworlds, because evil races that are, out of your sight, the terrible tentacle creatures that, live beneath this planet, or the secret masterminds, or the strange android empire or whatever. They often have huge cavern complexes and so on. So they've got these lovely kind of cutaways that show you all these different sort of underground empires and so on that you can go down to. You can follow rivers down. They've got cutaways showing you how you can layer a world. And random charts, which I really like actually, for sort of generating local colour. So we come into a forest. All right, well, you've got these random tables. All right, it is a crystalline forest, that, oh, it hums whenever there's sunrise and sunset. Or these trees drip a syrup which is, oh, it's slightly acidic, all right? Don't get under the trees. You can do this whole, if this whole place, is filled with pink bunkadoos that smell of fish, whatever, you can generate these lovely little alien landscapes. You can have wacky animal companions. There's, beautiful princesses. There's things to rescue. There's horrible four-armed apes that want to eat you. There are also rules in there for fighting battles between flying ships, because of course sky ships are a big part of this genre, and so it just works off the normal combat rules extended out, so you don't have to play things on maps. You don't have to bring anything out. They've also got a backup system if you wanted to bring D&D style magic in. They've put like a magic using class as an appendix at the back, so if you want to have like dread sorcerers or something like this as enemies, or if you want someone to choose to do that, they do have sort of D&D style magical spells. There are lists of found items and lists of special technological items and cool things, so essentially your treasure lists that you'd get in a fantasy game, but in this case they tend to be fantastic items. Now your character classes, your scientists, what they do is they create cool widgets. So they, as part of their level skills, they get the ability to create interesting tech that they bring along with them, and they can improve it as their levels go up, and they can make more tech. The psionic guys, obviously they get mental powers and so on. They can scan for things, they can put illusions, they can read people's minds. There's a little adventure out for this as well, but it's an easy game to create things for. It's one of those ones where as you start going through it, you start coming up with ideas. It's just so well done. This is absolutely beautiful work. It really is. It's low cost. You're not being asked to buy into, widgets and miniatures and giant battle maps and whatever. You just get stuck in and play. If you like that sword waving, riding a giant 8-legged beast across, the weird moss-covered steppes of a far-off alien world, strange aliens popping out of adits in the ground and observing you from afar, and people trying to kidnap you in the middle of the night and rescuing princesses, and this game, go and get it. It's on Drive-Thru, Night Owl Workshop. They have a website. They do several other games. They have like a superhero genre one. They have one based on kind of Starship Troopers and Aliens, trying to do that shoot 'em up bug hunt style. They've also got Indiana Jones style 1930s games. Each one of these is brilliant. It's a pirate game as well. It's done with the same level of attention to detail, simplicity and joy. But this one is their gem. It's absolutely a 5-star game. Go out and find it. It's brilliant.